Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Tech Flash here. Today I have an unboxing of a phone that you probably never heard of. You might have heard of the company itself, but maybe not know that they actually make phones. The device that I have is brought to you by ZTE. Now, ZTE is not a new company. Actually, they have been in business since probably most of us were even born yet, but they're fairly new in the smartphone market. ZTE is a company that specializes in manufacturing of telecommunication equipment, so there is a chance that you might have heard about them or their components being used in certain cell phones. Another more familiar name is Nubia. Nubia is actually owned by ZTE, and you guys might remember me doing an unboxing of the Red Magic 6 Pro a couple of weeks back, which was actually a Nubia phone. If you haven't watched that video, please make sure you do. That was one crazy phone, and this one as well is a little bit crazy, so make sure to also subscribe if you haven't already so you guys don't miss out on anything. The name of the phone is the Axon 30 Ultra. Last year ZTE announced the Axon 20, which was the first phone in the world to introduce a new technology which we now know as the under-display camera. ZTE was the first company to be able to achieve this, and it was considered a technological milestone showcasing how the future of smartphones might evolve. Now, the specs on this phone are amazing. If we look at the back, we can see that the variant we have today comes with 12 gigs of RAM plus 256 gigs of internal storage. There are other variants that come with 16 gigs of RAM and up to 1 terabyte of internal storage. Furthermore, this comes with the latest chip out there, which is the Snapdragon 888. These amazing specs also come with an amazing price, and if you are interested to buy this, it will cost you more or less about $1,000 depending on where you are located, which is not cheap to say for a Chinese Android phone, but again, you're paying for the specs. A similar spec phone from Samsung would easily cost you nearly $1,500 or maybe more, so I think you're paying a fair price here. Now, before we open up the box, you might have noticed one thing, which is the way the box actually looks. It's very similar to the boxes of the Huawei Mate devices, and that may be because in China, ZTE is one of the other major companies after Huawei, which also deals in telecommunications, so that might have to do something with it. And a fun fact, ZTE was also sanctioned by the US government for about 7 years back in 2018, but the ban was lifted just a few months later in July after they underwent some changes. Opening up the box, we have the phone, which we will put to the side for now. We get to see the booklet, which has some usual paperwork and the SIM ejector pin. We also get a silicone case as well for the phone, and judging by the camera opening, you may be able to tell that this has a huge camera module at the back, which is why I was calling this phone a little bit crazy. Next, we have the charger, which is actually a 65-watt fast charger. Very happy to see that, and it is a USB to USB-C type connection that we have. Also, you don't get an audio jack on the phone, so ZTE includes this small adapter in case you want to plug a pair of headphones. And we also get to see the charging cable, which is a USB-C type. Now, finally taking a look at the phone itself, the first thing I am going to look at is the back camera. And as I mentioned earlier, ZTE was the first company to introduce an under-display camera, so it is pretty clear that they are putting ahead the camera on this phone, and they've outdone themselves because the triple camera setup that we have here has a 64 megapixel sensor, and by that I mean that each camera, apart from the smaller one, each camera is using a 64 megapixel sensor. The other camera here has a 13 megapixel sensor, and this is actually a periscope or zoom camera which has 5 times optical zoom capability. We also have laser autofocus and a dual LED flash module. Also, I have to say that the phone itself looks and feels very good, and it doesn't leave any fingerprints due to its matte finish. On the bottom, we have the speaker grill, the USB port, and the SIM ejector pin, which is capable of carrying 2 SIMs, but it doesn't carry an external memory card because this phone can come up to 1 terabyte of internal storage, which in most cases should be more than enough. Display-wise, we have a curved AMOLED display, which is a fast refresh display, and no, it does not have 90 Hz or even 120 Hz. This display here has an astounding rate of 144 Hz, so you can very easily enjoy high-speed gaming with this phone. And actually, this is a full-fledged gaming phone, although it may not look much like it from the outside. But as I said, ZTE owns Nubia, which are known for making top-of-the-line gaming phones. It's no surprise this has a lot of the same attributes that we would see on a gamer's phone, just without all the flashiness. Both the front and the back have Gorilla Glass 5, which is is implemented into an aluminum frame. Now coming back to the camera side of things, which is the star of the show, ZTE, apart from putting very powerful hardware here, also focused a lot on the software side of things to make sure that both pair up to take great photo and video. Also, another unique thing is that the ultra wide lens has a 64 megapixel camera, which translates to great quality photos. Normally an ultra wide camera does not have such a high megapixel count, and that really affects the quality. If you are a portrait photography lover, there is good news for you. Portrait photography is usually taken with a lens to create a background blur, and the ideal lens for that is 35 millimeters, which is considered the ideal focal length to get that amazing background blur. The great thing about the camera here is that one of the 64 megapixel cameras has been calibrated to take portrait photos at exactly 35 millimeters, which will provide you with the best quality and the best bokeh effect. Another crazy feature which I noticed is that you can shoot videos in up to 8K resolution, which is further paired with two types of stabilization. One is optical image stabilization and the other one is an electronic image stabilization, which should be able to put out very smooth footage. Battery wise, I think for such a powerful device, it should have been a little bit bigger. This comes with the 4600 milliampere battery. In my opinion, it should have at least 5000 milliamperes, but apart from that, we also have an in-display fingerprint scanner, and the front camera has a wide 16 megapixel sensor, which surprisingly is not an under-display camera. Anyways guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this awesome phone. Please drop a like if you did, and remember to subscribe if you're new to the channel for more similar content. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.